I'll try and make it better. With my speech, of course. What is one thing common amidst all of us? It's vacations. What is one thing that we look forward to? It's vacation. What is one thing that Americans lag behind in?
Vacation.
Nothing.
Apparently, I don't know why the stats are like this, but when I queried vacations in Google, an article came up and said Americans lag behind in vacations. I don't know why it is so, because every time I talk to somebody, in my team, they have vacations planned throughout the year. They are so well planned. They know where they will be in the 12th month. And for me, I wouldn't even know where I'll be in the 12th hour. So I was talking to Ken last week, and of course, he's on vacation this week. I asked him, well, what are you going to do? Nothing. Okay. I don't have anything planned. I'm probably going to be home. And I said, well, that's good. Why don't you still come to the meeting? No, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So I said, fine. And I realized that he is like me, who hasn't planned his vacation. He's going to take a week off and then do whatever he needs to do. If it's long trips, all of us do plan in advance. Like I take trips to India, so I try and plan it 6 months in advance. We took a trip to Alaska over the summer this year, and we planned it for almost 8 months. Overseas planning, it is required. So when we go to a place, we go to Google, right? We know everything about that city before we even land there. Where we want to stay, what do we want to see, what we want to eat, where we want to eat, how we will go around, everything. And so planning is the one thing that we all do. However, I will tell you, even with all the planning, still, we had a lot of troubles on our vacations. We continue to have troubles during our vacations. Once all four of us, my husband and both our daughters, my youngest daughter was 9 years old, and we planned a trip to India. This was going to be her first trip to India. Everything was set. I booked the tickets. Everything was done. She was an infant in lab, so I didn't have to buy a ticket for her. We were going to stop over in New Jersey on our way, visit my brother-in-law, celebrate some occasions, and then go on to India. Of course, we got to the airport. We did our security check, checked out the shoes, and the laptops, cameras, everything was out of the bag, and the security guard said, there's still something inside your backpack. Nothing. No, I need to check it again. Okay, he does one round checking, nothing comes up. He brings this fancy gear, and of course there's this 3.5 or 4 fluid ounce of perfume bottle stuck somewhere in the backpack. And he's like, this is it, you're not allowed to carry it. Okay, fine, just take it out. He said, what do you want to do? He said, well, garbage it, right? What are we going to do? You can carry it. So we threw away, of course, it was a branded perfume, so it was pretty expensive. We threw it away, we walked across the security line. Finally, we reached New Jersey. My husband was taking out his carry-on luggage. He says, this seems a little bit lighter. I said, no, that can't be. He said, no, it does seem to be a little bit lighter. Did we put in everything? Of course, we opened the carry-on, we realized we left our laptop at the Tampa airport. Okay, this is not going to work because we are flying to India next day. So our brain started racing. We called up the TSA over here, and they said, yes, you did leave your laptop here. Okay, this is not going to fly. What do we do? How do we? And say, well, we can overnight it, but we don't guarantee that we will get it. Or you can have somebody pick it up. So we called our friend here and we said, well, drop everything that you are doing, go to TSA, pick up the laptop, FedEx it overnight so we get it in New Jersey the next morning. He did all that. Thanks to him, he did drop everything and then he went over. So while we're waiting, our ride hasn't arrived at the airport. So we're waiting at the airport. So I took my girls to the restroom, and of course my husband is in charge of the luggage. I come back and I'm like, where's the stroller? Because I have this 9-month-old and I just want to place the stroller. And the stroller goes missing. It's not there. It's just disappeared. Somebody took it away. It's stolen. So my husband said, well, what do you want to do? I said, no, it's just a $20 stroller. Who cares? Let's just leave it behind. So we get on the car, our ride has arrived. We get on into the car and we reach home and I realized my bracelet is missing. And I'm like, I know I had it on, in India we travel, we all wear jewelry, we go. So my diamond bracelet, I'm like, oh my God, that's like a diamond bracelet. So what is, I was like really, really in a bad mood at that time. Luckily I found it lying in the car. Must have dropped off while I was getting into the car, which was late now. So I prayed to God, I said, something is just not right. Since the beginning, something is wrong. But the worst is still to come. The next day we went to the airport on a flight to India. We are checking in into the flight, Delta Airlines. And they say, we only have reservations for 3. Who's missing? Like, your infant daughter, we don't have a reservation for her. I said, well, how can that be? I have paid for her. I have everything. They said, don't show her in our systems. She will not be allowed. She's just an infant. What do you mean? I don't need a seat for her anyway. What do you mean? She said, we did not book for her, so we can't allow you. So it's either you pay a first 10% of the first class ticket, or you book your tickets, and of course seats weren't available, and we had to go to JFK and then go to Paris and then take our flights from there. And I said, well, that's not going to work. So of course, $600 right there for an infant. That was, and at that point I was praying, like, this is just the beginning of the trip. I don't know what more is going to come. So we went on. It was a 4-week trip to India, and everything was fine. Gradually, nothing happened. That was the end of our, what should I say, for lack of better words, adventure that we were hoping. But no matter how much we try, we pre-plan, but there are stuff that happens. My red light has come on, but I want to share with you one more incident that happened when we took our trip to Alaska this summer. So we had been planning it for 8 months. On Wednesday morning, we are going to fly to Vancouver, and of course, we finally need your passports. So on Monday morning, my husband said, before I start working, let me just log in and register for the cruise. And of course, the first passport he opens is my daughter's. And he realizes the passport is already expired. As a parent, when he said, Ashi's passport is expired, and he just looked at me, looked at him, and we were just so serious, and he said, that's just embarrassing. How can my daughter's passport expire? And we had no clue about it, and it just expired like 15 days before. This is the most embarrassing, shameful thing that we could, as parents, do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we got online, and here we are. I sent a mail, and I said, I need to take off today. He had to take off. We got online. Apparently, there are businesses, firms that do this for you. There are a lot of parents that have been in my boat every single day. And there were tons of reviews, and I said, oh wow, we're not the only ones here. But there are businesses that, they turn around and they get a passport delivered to you within 24 hours. Thankfully.
Wow.
Of course, we had to pay lots of money. But whatever. At that point I was saying, oh man, all this 8 months of planning for Alaska, and then now suddenly 2 of us won't be able to go. It just felt so bad. What I'm trying to tell you is, no matter how much we plan, these are memories that come up. If the India trip memory or the Alaska trip memory. We came back, it became an anecdote. It became a funny anecdote for us. We shared it with everybody, and of course, nobody shared it because it is very embarrassing and ashamed. I was very ashamed that as a parent I let my daughter's passport expire, knowing it's such a big deal and it's an official document. But I realized when I shared this anecdote with the rest of my friends, apparently everybody had been in such a similar situation at one time or the other. The passport was lost and they couldn't find it, or it had expired, endless. But these are the memories that we actually cherish for life. While we make new ones, we really enjoy rooting over